So you're supposed to have a women's prison, a prison for men, and that's it, right? What about the transgenders? Well, they're putting transgender women with the women in a facility in New Jersey, and the results are predictable. 2 women at an NJ prison are pregnant after consensual sex between inmates. 2 women, yes, incarcerated at the Edma Mahan Correctional Facility, the state's only female prison, have become pregnant after having sex with a transgender inmate. It goes on to say the developments follow a settlement agreement with the American Civil Liberties Union of New Jersey last year, which stipulates that transgender prisoners should be housed in line with their gender identity. Now, this is obviously absurd on its surface, right? I mean, let's take the body of a male. This is a Heman version, right? Now, no, I'm sorry, but this individual does not belong with the women, the biological women, in prison. A lot of bad things can happen. And even some Democrats know this. The governor over there, Murphy, has been uncomfortable with the situation at the prison, promised to do something about it, but always kicking the can down the road because he's got to worry about that, white supremacy stuff.
There's so much on the ballot. There's so much at stake. Do we stand with our sacred democracy, or do we stand with Confederate flags and white supremacists and a pack of lies? Do we stand? Do we continue? Do we continue to make the tough?
Oh, that should have been the end of his political career. He barely won re-election. The ACLU, thanks a lot. Again, the current policy reflects best practices to ensure the health, dignity, and safety of people in custody, including pregnancy, I guess. It is in line with New Jersey's strong anti-discrimination laws on the basis of gender identity. Look, they're going to keep pushing this, and it should not be. We're going to have a third gender, right? We're going to have we have a men's prison, we have a woman's prison, we got to have a transgender prison, we got to have a transgender sports league. Thing is, we're not going to because there are not enough to actually justify that. So I think this is all going to blow over pretty soon. By the way, what'd you think of our animation? Presto, a man becomes a woman. That individual does not belong with the women in prison, or in a lot of places, actually. All right, back here in New York City. Eric Adams. I have been familiar with this character for a long time. He's not good. He wasn't a good police officer. He's a terrible mayor. His secret, though, he talks a good game at the right moment. Always changing his positions, always changing his tune. It depends on who he's speaking to in the moment. And most people have no memory, especially the media. So they hear something and they think, oh, finally, a breath of fresh air. And he can say things because of, identity politics. Take a look.
Here's my question that I put out to the city. Hey, I thought Black Lives Matter. Where are all those who stated Black Lives Matter? Then go do an analysis of who was killed or shot last night. The victims were Black. Many of the shooters were Black. If Black Lives Matters, then the thousands of people I saw on the street when Floyd was murdered should be on the street right now stating that the lives of these Black children that are dying every night matters.
So that sounds great, but it's just noise. It's just noise. And when white people say that, they're branded as conservatives, nut jobs, oh, shut up, it's your turn to listen. He gets to say it because he's Black, but he's only saying it because it's convenient in the moment. This individual has done so much to damage community-police relations. When he was running for mayor, he said that people of color should not call the cops when they need them. Now, because of Black Lives Matter summer, a lot was going on, including fireworks that were totally out of control. So this is heavy duty stuff. This isn't sparklers and bottle rockets. This is like military artillery, right? And a lot of people in New York were scared. It was a big, big issue. Apart from the racial justice protests, this was scaring people. It was happening everywhere. Hot issue in the mayor's race in 2020 and into 2021. Eric Adams had a solution. Don't call the cops, whatever you do.
Stopping fireworks cannot turn into fireworks between the police and the community. Now it's time for all those who call 311, who don't want heavy-handed policing. It's time for you to come out your homes and go talk to the young people or the people on your block who are using fireworks like this. What does community policing...
You want to engage with folks who are doing this with fireworks right outside, right? Excuse me, could you possibly settle down and do that somewhere else, maybe with a beach? Excuse me, I don't like these fireworks. Excuse me, can you put down that rocket-propelled grenade? All right, that's not a practical solution. That's not gonna work, and it didn't work. And this poor woman who heard the news, heard Eric Adams' advice, actually went out there and tried to do what he said to do. And she was shot 8 times. Shatavia Walls, 33, blasted 8 times in an East New York public housing complex on July 7th, simply for asking the fiends to take their dangerous display away from a group of playing kids. Exactly how Adams had urged constituents to act in the face of the pyrotechnic plague. Again, it was a big deal. She watched the news. Yes, she heard it. Helen Wall's heartbroken mother told the Post on Sunday, referring to Adams' advice, it was probably in the back of her mind. And other family members substantiated that. So this is the kind of guy who says, don't call the cops when all hell is breaking loose, because you can't trust the cops. You can't trust the cops. May I see that video one more time? This is bad. You don't do this. You don't fix this on your own. Fair enough, right? All right, we got a problem here in New York. But there's hope on the way, at least in the cyber world. You hear about Twitter and Elon Musk. Quite frankly, I can't figure out exactly what he's going to do. I would love there to be more fairness in Twitter. What happened to Donald Trump? Crime, really? Suspended, and we got John Hinckley, the man who tried to kill Ronald Reagan, is active on Twitter. The mullah in Iran is active on Twitter. Elon Musk has made an offer, a big one, $43 billion to buy the whole company. And I like his style. He's a little eccentric, but he supports free speech.
My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization.
Yeah, but you know who's opposing this? All of Silicon Valley, the hipsters, the wokesters, and the Saudis. Saudi, very rich Saudis have a huge stake in Twitter. Did you know that? I didn't know that. A lot of people don't know that, but these guys are not exactly known for their adherence to freedom of speech, respect of women, and a whole lot of other things. They got problems over there. I know strategically they're an ally. I think that should be looked into, don't you?